Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is Ryan. I'm excited to dive into episode 3 of our advent calendar from Flaviar. So we're kind of shooting 0 for 4 so far. I have not actually been impressed by any of these, but there's redeeming value in, I think, in doing whiskey advent calendars because you kind of train in your palate. This is going to take you all over the world, going to expose you to lots of different flavor profiles and spirits that are being made in different parts of the world, different parts of the country by new distilleries that are popping up. So it's just a great way to educate your palate. I have not had one yet out of the first 4 that I thought to myself, you know what, I wouldn't mind having a bottle of that on my shelf. None of them have been that yet. Maybe today is the day that changes though. Let's see. Okay, this is vial number 5. For those of you who are actually following along at home with your own advent calendar. So I'll pour it, let it open up a little bit, and then we'll open up the pamphlet. We'll see what it is. So the nose is very sweet, with a little bit of like an allspice note. Hey, I'm getting ahead of myself here. Okay, this is from Black Button Distilling. This is pre-prohibition style straight bourbon whiskey, 46% alcohol by volume, so 92 proof. All right, let's get the skinny on this bottle. Bottle retails for $67. There's a 5-year age statement on it. Tells a fun story about a little boy named Jason Barrett who was colorblind, but his family owned a button factory and he couldn't really make out the colors, but he wanted to, be an entrepreneur himself, just like the family business. Started his own distillery in Rochester. So it's 80% corn, 10% malted barley, 10% rye, with high entry proof. Interesting. Well, let's try it. Now, I did already note I got a little bit of like allspice, very sweet on the nose. With an 80% corn mash, I'm not surprised it's so sweet on the nose. I'm not getting a lot of like dark, rich caramels. It's kind of a younger sweetness with a little bit of like maybe walnuts. Let's try it. A little bit of sweetness up front, but it kind of gets washed away by this tannic astringency. Man, I know this is going to sound weird, but almost like a lake water kind of a finish. I know that sounds real weird. I spend a lot of time on lakes, especially in the summer times I'm out there kayaking or we're out on the boat. Lake water finish. That's a weird thing to say, but it's the first thing that came to mind, I gotta be honest. I mean, there's a little bit of that walnut in there. Barely any caramel to be found. Maybe just a touch of vanilla in there, but overall that tastes very young, very youthful. There may be something there, but I think that it needs to mature. There needs to be some maturation there. Yeah, I see 80% corn on the mash, and I'm thinking like, hey, I'm bracing myself for some nice oily caramel, some butter, some sweet pecan in there maybe, and I'm just not finding any of those things in there. If I were to rate this on my scale, I'd probably give it, I'm going to say a 3.8. I'm always cheering for the underdogs. I'm always cheering for the craft distillers. Every now and then, some of them rise to the surface. And they kick some serious butt. I think of like 13th Colony, for example. Driftless Glen has made a great name for themselves as well. And plenty of other people that started small. Starlight. So a lot of times I'm looking for like a hidden gem in these boxes. Haven't found it yet. And that one's no exception. Onward. Vial number 6. Wow, this one is, I haven't looked at the label yet. And I haven't turned the page, so I don't know where this comes from. But it is like clear. This looks like pear juice. Whiskey, product of the United Kingdom. Are we gonna get like a UK malt in here? Let's turn the page, let's see what it is. Well, first I'm gonna pour it actually. I want that to sort of open up a little bit. I didn't get ahead of myself this time, no sniffing. Filey Bay, flagship single malt whiskey, 46% ABV, aka 92 proof. Let's get the story. Retails for $79. Charm and personality distilled to perfection. The name Spirit of Yorkshire Distillery. I say Yorkshire, it's like Yorkshire, right? You don't like, it's not Yorkshire. Sorry about that, my UK friends. Already hints at their love and commitment to doing things the Yorkshire way, the proper way. Growing and distilling from field to bottle since 1945. Okay, interesting. Progressive farming techniques, 100% homegrown barley. Aged in ex-bourbon barrels, which is pretty typical of a single malt. All right, well, I want to taste it. Let's see if the Brits, our UK friends, can make Scotch. Well, it's not Scotch. If they can make single malt whiskey, as well as their neighbors to the north. On the nose, I get a little like apple cider vinegar. Like I think of lightly buttered toast with some honey drizzled over it on the nose, and a little orange zest. Actually, the nose on that is really nice. I like that. Very appealing. Time to taste. That is without a doubt the best whiskey I've had in this box so far. Vial number 6. And honestly, I don't even think it's close. I think that is leaps and bounds far better than anything else I've tasted out of this box so far, the first 5 vials. That finish is just all honeycomb. I think of like Honey Nut Cheerios. It's actually somewhat creamy for the mouthfeel, which is surprising considering the proof is only 92. But a lot of soft fruit notes in there too, like fresh apple, maybe like apple pie. Yeah, honey, fruit, and cereal notes. Those are like the 3 stars of the show with this, and they play with each other very, very well. Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. I think if I were to rate that per my scale, that might fall in like a flat 7.0, you know? Comfortably above average. But yeah, color me impressed. I like that a lot more than I expected to, given the precedent of the previous vials in here. I got a buddy that's absolutely in love with the UK. He's one of those guys where he's like, you'll be gaming with him one night, and he's like, by the way, I was just like, you know, bored, and I bought myself a ticket to London. He's done that like 3 times since I've known him. So I had to text that to him real quick because I think he'd appreciate that. All right, well, that's going to do it for episode 3 of our journey through the Advent calendar courtesy of Flaviar. So feel free to check them out sometime, by the way, and give them a look. I think you can use the, I don't know what my code is. If I find it, I'll put it in the description. I think it's like True Vanguard or True Vanguard 20. True Vanguard's the name of my gaming channel, which is how they found me. So anyways, all this to say, thank you so much for tuning in. I genuinely appreciate you, your viewership, your support, especially the growth on the channel of late has been fantastic. A big shout out to my Patreon supporters. You guys are the reason I can fund these bottles and take the time out of my day to make these videos. So I really appreciate your support. If you want to get involved in that, check the link in the description. Cheers, my friends. May you live richly and get better with age. And we'll catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.